We're back with Chapter 2, Lines, Part 2, Economic Application. Now, the total cost concepts. Let's imagine that you have a cell phone store. What kind of cost do you have? In fact, we have two kinds of cost. We have the fixed cost that includes the rent, salaries, the electricity bill, so for example, it's $1,000 for salaries, $1,000 for rent, $400 for salaries, and $100 for electricity. The second type of cost is the variable cost, the one that varies with quantity. So you want to sell cell phones. If you have 0 cell phones in your store, then your variable cost is 0. If you have 1 cell phone in your store and the cost for 1 cell phone is $20, then your variable cost is 1 times $20, which is 20. If you have 2 cell phones in your store, your variable cost is 2 times 20, which is $40. If you have 3 cell phones in your store, your variable cost is 3 times 20, which is 60. So the variable cost changes with the quantity you desire to sell. As a rule, total cost equals the fixed cost plus the variable cost. Now the variable cost depends on the quantity. It's the quantity times the cost per unit. It's the quantity 2 times the cost per unit. It's the quantity 3 times the cost per unit. So the total cost equals the fixed cost plus the cost per unit V times the quantity. A numerical example for this total cost function is, so here the fixed cost equals $1,500 plus the variable cost here per unit V equals 20, and Q is variable. So now we have a total cost which shows the relation between TC and Q. We see that this relation is positive. The slope, which here is denoted by V, equals 20. Let's interpret the slope. If Q increases by 1 unit, total cost will increase by 20. Let's calculate the intercepts. Let's start with the y-intercept. The y-intercept is when Q equals 0. Let's replace Q with 0. TC equals 1,500. As for the x-intercept, it's when TC equals 0, Q equals minus 750. Let's calculate this. We need to replace TC with 0 and solve for Q. Minus 20Q equals 1,500. Q equals 1500 over minus 20, which is minus 75. Okay, finally, let's graph this total cost function. This is the x-axis. This is the y-axis, total cost. This is the first point. And this is the second point. We join these 2 points. Oops. And this is the total cost function. As you can see, there's a positive relation between the two variables, Q and TC, since the line is upward sloping. The slope is positive. If Q increases, TC increases. Okay, if we have a quantity equals 100, let's calculate total cost. If Q equals 100, calculate total cost. This means we need to replace Q in the function with its value, which is 100, and calculate TC. TC equals 3,500. For what quantity is TC equals 5,000? We have TC equals 5,000. We replace TC with its value. And we solve for Q. 5,000 minus 1,500 equals 20Q. $3,500 equals 20Q. Q equals 1,750. Now that we know total revenue, that equals P times Q, the example we gave in the previous video was 50Q. And that we know total costs, which is fixed cost plus cost per unit times Q. The example we gave was 1,500 plus 20Q. Let's try and calculate the profit. The profit function is denoted by pi. The profit equals total revenue minus total cost. which is 50q minus, pay attention, the minus is for all the total costs function. So we need to use the brackets. Profit equals, in this case, 50q minus 1500 minus 20q. So profit equals 30q minus 1500. That's it for the economic application. Now try it yourself with the worksheet problems. Thank you for watching.